32-6. 32-6. 3 losses in a row. 6 points. In their last 4 games, the Jets have scored 13, 6, 12, and 6 points. It is an absolutely pathetic performance. I don't care. I don't care what happens with Joe Douglas at the end of the year. I don't care what happens with Robert Saleh at the end of the year. I don't care what happens with Zach Wilson at the end of the year. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Doesn't matter. You want to run it back? Fine. If you don't, fine. I don't feel bad. I won't feel bad for Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh if they lose their jobs because they brought this on themselves. That's the point. There we go. That's the point of this video and this post-game reaction is I don't really feel bad. I don't feel bad for either one of those guys because they brought it on their freaking selves. Let's go into this game. The Jets start with the football. The Bills win the toss and defer. And on the opening kickoff, Xavier Gipson, who outside of the first week of the season has stunk, fumbled the ball, giving the Bills awesome field position. The Jets defense, which has been one of the few bright points on this team, forces a 3-and-out. The Buffalo Bills kick a field goal to go up 3-0. Jets start with the ball, their first possession after what should have already been a first possession. The personal foul on the defense, dropped the check down. Breece Hall dropped, but guess what? Zach Wilson threw a ball 150 miles an hour on a 4-yard pass. Max Mitchell was beat for a sack. Wilson to Wilson shot was incomplete. If it was a catchable ball, Garrett Wilson would have been murdered on the play, and the Jets instead decide to punt. All right. Kincaid picks up a first down on 3rd and 6. Allen Draw picks up a first down on 3rd down. Kincaid for a big game inside the red zone. Adams almost comes up with an interception instead. Finger comes out, the bone of his finger comes outside of his glove. He's done for the day. The Jets D bends but doesn't break. They allow a field goal opportunity. It's a 6-0 game. Breece Hall, run for no gain. Breece Hall check down, takes it for a first down. Run for 2 yards, for a 2-yard loss. Sack. Becton goes down. In comes Carter Warren. Mekhi Becton would not return. Neither would Tony Adams. Jets lose their starting free safety and left tackle in this game. Dalton Kincaid picks up a first down. We see Mekhi Becton get carted off the field. As I said, would not return. Buffalo Bills get hit with a holding call. Then you get a huge play to Shakur. Solomon Thomas forces a fumble, but the Bills recover. DJ Reed penalty, automatic first down. The Bills kick another field goal to go up 9-0. Jets, 3-and-out. Punt. Jets get it to 3rd and 2. Murray picks it up. 3rd and 7. Incomplete pass. Jets defense forces a punt. Still a 9-0 game. Ruckert, big play for 19 yards. Jeremy Ruckert gets a little bit of run as the second tight end. He had a big play there. Would have a drop later on. Glazer, who comes in at right guard, has a penalty in this game. Zach Wilson is intercepted trying to throw the ball to Garrett Wilson. I don't know what he saw on the play prior. He threw a pass that probably should not have been thrown and was one that could have been intercepted. On the next pass, he would throw one to the left side to Garrett Wilson. That was picked off. Sauce gets hit with a holding call, dump off to Cook, who is wide open. Suddenly, it is a 16-0 game for the Buffalo Bills, and it feels like it is over. Jets first down, 2nd down, 3rd down, don't pick it up. It looks like the Jets are going to go 3-and-out and punt instead. Thomas Morstead, fake punt. Check, they get it. First down. Brandon Echols on the reception. Thomas Morstead to Brandon Echols was the big play of the day. 4th and 2, check down to Breece Hall. He picks up a first down. Breece check down, takes it for 10. Another Breece check down. Guess what? He gets in the end zone this time. And suddenly it's a 16-6 game, and the Jets are showing maybe we have a little bit of sign of life on offense, or first offensive touchdown, or just first touchdown in general in 2 games. And it was, guess what? Just like the last one, a Breece Hall check down that went into the end zone. 2-point conversion, no good. Zach Wilson holds onto the ball, takes a sack. It's a 16-6 game. Sauce Gardner called with a personal foul outside of the half. All right, so 16-6 at the half. Sauce Gardner, personal foul, big play, big Quincy play, insane play by Will McDonald, loss of 6, 4th and 2. Ty Johnson gets it. Ty Johnson, the former Jet, makes it a 22-6 game. That's all she wrote. Basically, at that point, we could talk about the post game, but it was still the 3rd quarter. There was still a lot of time to play, so we have more to talk about. Jets get the ball. Defensive pass interference gives the Jets a first down. Ed Oliver blows up the designed quarterback run. The Jets punt, a cowardly punt, but they decided to punt anyway. Shakur, big play against Sauce, 81 yards to the house. So let's make it a 29-6 game. Two things happened on this play. One, Sauce Gardner tried to get aggressive and go for a pick, missed it. Big play. Jordan Whitehead, who spends more time searching his name on Twitter than trying to wrap up, misses another tackle. And that's what turns into a 29-6 play. Jets with the ball. Laken Tomlinson, an ineligible man downfield. Ed Oliver comes up with a sack on third down. Jets punt it away. Jets defense does its job. Tim Boyle enters. Here we go. Zach Wilson gets benched in this game. Zach Wilson's day comes to a close. 7 of 15 for 81 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 5 sacks, a 57.9 rating. All right, so in comes Tim Boyle. Let's see what he can do. And he's moving the ball a little bit, 3 straight completions, but Garrett Wilson fumbles the football. Unfortunately, Garrett Wilson fumbled in that spot. He fumbled against the Chargers. He had a drop in the Raiders game. It's been a 3-game rough stretch for Garrett Wilson. I, myself, will not go to the table blaming Garrett Wilson. Why? Because Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall are one of the few things you can count on your one hand. What are positives about this offense? He won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. He's on a 3-game stretch where he has not been great, but other than that, he's been on a pace for 1,200 yards with the worst quarterback play in the league. So I'm not going to kill Garrett Wilson. Sue me, but I'm not killing Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner in this game, although both guys weren't particularly great in this game. I, for one, cannot put them at the top of the list that are things that are wrong with this Jets football team. All right, Jets defense forces a punt, pass deflection. Jets get the ball back. Tim Boyle comes out throwing. Deflected, almost intercepted. It originally was ruled an interception. Then no. Tim Boyle takes a sack on third down. Jets punted away. Tyler Bass hits a field goal to make it 32-6. Jets will get one more possession. Izzy runs for a first down, which looks good. But then after that, unfortunately, throws an interception. So Tim Boyle also picked as well. 32-6 would be your final score in this one. An absolutely dreadful performance from top to bottom. From the start, the opening kickoff of the game, a fumble, was the story of the day. They were outscored 6-0 in the first. They were outscored 16-6 at the half. And in the second half of the game, they were outscored 16-0 in the second half to lose 32-6. So the Bills season is very much alive. The Jets are at 4-6 with a major question mark at the quarterback. Do you go back to Zach Wilson, who again was 7 of 15 for 81 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 sacks, and a 57.9 rating? Or do you go to Tim Boyle, who was 7 of 14 for 33 yards, 2.4 yards per attempt, no touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack, and a 26.5 rating? What do? Do you finally elevate Trevor Siemian, which is something that I've been asking the Jets to do for a few weeks? I think he might be the option to give them the best opportunity. Who knows? The offense is broken. Moral of the story, it doesn't matter. Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, maybe Trevor Siemian. The Jets balked on trying to get another quarterback in here back in March when they declared Zach Wilson QB2. They balked on it in week 1 after Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 plays into his season. They balked on it for a third time at the trade deadline when someone like Josh Dobbs goes for a 6th-round pick, or when supposedly you had guys like Jacoby Brissett available for a day 3 pick, and they said, you know what, no thanks, I'm good. So again, I don't really have any sympathy in my heart for either Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh right now. If they stay, fine. If they get fired, I don't care. I don't care if they get fired, either one of them, because they brought this on themselves, is what I will say. They brought this on themselves, and the Jet fans don't deserve this. That's the moral of the story. Jet fans do not deserve this as they watch their team fall to 4-6. They have 2 offensive touchdowns in their last 4 games in a sport where we watch Tim freaking Boyle have to come in and play quarterback in the NFL in 2023. But in the 1 o'clock slate, you have Tommy DeVito throw 3 touchdown passes in a game against the Washington Commanders. The New York Giants won against the Washington Commanders with Tommy DeVito starting and Tommy DeVito throwing 3 touchdown passes. Zach Wilson has not thrown 3 touchdown passes in his entire NFL career. I keep trying to say Tim. It's not. It's Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito has a worse offensive line. Go figure. The Giants' offensive line is actually worse than the New York Jets. I don't want to hear that no quarterback has a shot behind this offensive line. This offensive line is not good. It is a below average unit. It is a bottom 5 unit in the league. But just because it's a bad unit does not mean that it's an excuse to throw in the towel on both the quarterback or the offensive coordinator, which is what some fans are trying to do. Nobody has a shot with this offensive coordinator, with this offensive line. It doesn't matter if it's Zach, Tim Boyle, Thomas Morstead, Trevor Siemian, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. Doesn't matter. You could have Joe Montana back there. Would not matter to some fans in this fan base because this offensive line is just apparently this historically bad unit that no other NFL team has ever overcome, despite watching Joe Burrow 2 years ago go to a Super Bowl with the bottom offensive line in football. But no, we can give every excuse to this coordinator and quarterback because the offensive line isn't good enough. Guess what? I know Nathaniel Hackett also stinks. Todd Downing should call plays. Todd Downing was an offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans who got fired because he's not good at his job. But guess what? Nathaniel Hackett is also not good at his job. So I don't care what happens there. It doesn't matter. The season is toast because the offense stinks. And I don't want to talk about the defense and the defense missing some tackles and some bad plays by Sauce Gardner and just some mishaps in a 32-6 game. That feels like wasted breath because of how bad the offense is. I know it wasn't a great defense day, but does it matter? 13, 6, 12, and 6 points in their last 4 games. They have 2 touchdowns in their last 4 games. Again, it's wasted breath to come on here and give any sort of criticism to this defense. I'm sorry. I know that they could improve on against the run. I know they could improve their tackling. But again, we're wasting our time. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Jet fans don't deserve this. Nobody does. The Jets haven't had a winning season since 2015. It's not happening this year. Sorry to burst that bubble. It's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is trying to come back in December. The Jets had 3 opportunities in a row. 3. 1 against the Chargers, 1 against the Dolphins, 1 against the Bills. Not the Dolphins, excuse me. 1 against the Raiders last week. The Raiders play the Dolphins this week. That's where the slip of the tongue came in. But they had opportunities where they got help. The Steelers lost this week. There were other chances that the Chargers lost this week. Nobody in the AFC won the 2 weeks prior. But the Jets blew it 3 times in a row. Why? Because their offense stinks. Their offense stinks. It's the quarterback. It's the coordinator. It's the offensive line. It's everything. It's everything. And Jet fans are at each other's throat trying to figure out what's the problem. You have the Zach defenders who are saying it's not his fault. 7 of 15, 81 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, another pick, 57.9 rating, 5 sacks. Not his fault. The coordinator also stinks. It's broken. They are broken on offense. And once again, final thought on this game, I do not care what happens with Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh. I don't care. If they keep them, fine. If they don't, I have no sympathy for them because they brought this on themselves. Jets lose 32-6, 4-6 on the season. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.